Alrighty, continuing the reading from my Freedom Manifesto, Our Freedom in Peril. Chapter 13, this is a very important chapter. A world of addicts. Who, me? Someone would likely reply to being told they're an addict. Like they just got cooties or something. The definition of addiction is a self-obsession and compulsion to do something. Could be a drug, it could be gambling, it could be food, it could be sex. Everybody does something too much. We are a world full of addicts. People equate the word addict to drugs, though it could be for food, gambling, sex, exercise, coffee, a busy schedule, control, or domination. Addiction is anything we do in excess, and it is considered a mental illness only because it changes the wiring of the brain's pleasure center. A mental institution is not a place for an addict, and since 1970, a few decades after Alcoholics Anonymous, and I've got that number wrong, the disease of addiction is cured by an educational program called IOP and PHP. In the programs, you learn coping strategies to not focus on your addiction, which, because my captors mention it all day, every day, is virtually impossible. In a program, a person learns about how the electrical impulses create new and stronger neural pathways to the pleasure center of the brain. In a program, a person learns to be self-accepting and how to let go of control over something that is obviously out of control. Like an alcoholic would say, "Just one more drink." In a program, a person finds a fellowship and a 12-step program, not to deal with their problem, but how to live and experience a spiritual awakening and allow a higher power to be in conscious contact with us each and every day. The first hurdle that many people never get past and venture on the path to a new way of living is the big D, denial. The first step in the grieving process. Not recognizing a big shortcoming is actually quite common, and only a small percentage of people actually do work a program. The fellowships are a strong kinship, where new friends, opportunities, and life-altering events await. Freedom is in peril because each of us seem at first to be unwilling to look honestly at ourselves, and we end up becoming controlled by the very thing that we love a bit too much. Homeostasis is our equilibrium, and our bodies are constantly at work, regulating, tweaking, and adjusting. Caffeine is indeed a drug, as is sugar. They are substances not naturally found in our bodies, and we ingest, digest, inject, inhale, whatever it is that helps us to feel, quote, normal. Take the coffee test one morning when you don't have to be on point. If you regularly have 2 or 3 more cups of Java, I dare you to make it to noon without feeling nauseous or drunk drowsy because of the lack of caffeine in your system. We become addicted to something gradually, and it is not our own fault. And it is not a matter of willpower. A compulsive hand washer feels normal after washing their hands. A coffee drinker feels normal after that first half cup of Zip. Our physical bodies respond to our thinking, our behavior, and the substance we put into them. The sooner we acknowledge this truth, the sooner we will all begin to get better and move beyond the things that enslave us, like technology. Being real is as real as it gets, and although there is nothing but real things all around us in the 21st century, we've replaced it for an electronic substitute that seems to monopolize more and more of our time and demand more and more of that time, like an addiction, as it becomes more and more socially acceptable to disconnect from what is and connect instead to something we plug in, a screen. We best be careful before we all end up married to a robot, because it does what we say. Do not become a slave to plug-in technology. It will drive you crazy, and the world will become a place where we make something out of nothing.